Today, Bitcoin continues to rise and fall in value, but one thing remains certain. The ghosts of Mt. Gox still whisper a warning to anyone entering the world of digital money. Trust carefully, secure your assets, and remember the exchange that vanished. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the dark and mysterious world of tech, money, and hidden history. In the early days of Bitcoin, before millionaires were minted overnight, before governments took it seriously, and long before crypto became a household word, there was a single name that ruled the digital money world: Mt. Gox. It was more than just an exchange. It was the beating heart of the crypto revolution. At its peak, over 70% of all Bitcoin transactions in the world flowed through Mt. Gox. But then, one day, it was gone. Offline, silent, vanished, taking with it hundreds of millions of dollars and shattering the dreams of thousands. This is the story of how one website rose from an obscure gaming platform to the center of a global financial revolution, and how it collapsed in one of the most shocking digital heists in history. Back in 2010, a young programmer named Jed McCaleb had an idea. He originally built Mt. Gox as a place for trading cards, specifically for a game called Magic: The Gathering. That's where the name came from, Magic: The Gathering online exchange. But the trading card idea didn't go far. Then McCaleb discovered something new: Bitcoin. It was fresh, weird, and revolutionary. No banks, no middlemen, pure digital money. He thought, what if people could trade this online, just like game cards? And so, in July 2010, he turned his old card exchange site into one of the first Bitcoin exchanges in the world. At first, it was just a small project, rough, basic, a hobbyist's experiment. But as Bitcoin slowly gained attention, Mt. Gox became the only place where people could easily buy and sell it. Word spread fast through online forums and hacker communities. The demand exploded, but McCaleb wasn't a businessman, he was a coder. The site was growing faster than he could handle. So in March 2011, he sold Mt. Gox to a French developer living in Tokyo, Marc Karpeles. Marc Karpeles was a self-proclaimed tech genius. He was fascinated by crypto, coding, and the idea of building something huge. Under his control, Mt. Gox took off. By 2013, it wasn't just the biggest Bitcoin exchange, it was the Bitcoin exchange. Everyone used it, from early adopters and tech enthusiasts to investors hoping to catch the next digital gold rush. When Bitcoin's price hit $1,000 for the first time, Mt. Gox's servers nearly melted from traffic. Billions of dollars were moving through the platform. Mark was now running one of the most powerful and valuable websites in the crypto world. But behind the scenes, things were falling apart. Mt. Gox was a mess internally. The code was outdated, security patches were ignored, customer support was overwhelmed. And the entire system was basically held together by Mark and a handful of employees. Even worse, there was no real oversight. No regulators, no auditors, no bank-grade security. It was like the Wild West of finance, except this time, it was online. Hackers noticed and they started circling like sharks. The first signs of trouble appeared in June 2011. Mt. Gox suddenly went offline. When it came back, users noticed something strange. The price of Bitcoin had crashed on the platform from $17 to just 1 cent. Panic spread, people thought Bitcoin was dead. But the truth was darker: Mt. Gox had been hacked. Someone had gained access to a user's administrative account and used it to flood the market with fake sell orders, crashing the price. Mark managed to bring the site back, claiming everything was under control. He told users not to worry, but confidence had been shaken. The cracks were showing and nobody realized just how deep they went. Over the next few years, Mt. Gox continued to dominate. But beneath the surface, Bitcoin was disappearing little by little, day by day. It wasn't until 2014 that the nightmare was finally revealed. On February 7, 2014, Mt. Gox suddenly halted all withdrawals. Mark said it was just a temporary technical issue. But customers began to panic as days went by and their funds remained frozen. Rumors spread like wildfire across Reddit and Bitcoin forums. Then, on February 24th, the site went completely offline. When users visited mtgox.com, all they saw was a blank page with this chilling message: in light of recent news reports and the potential repercussions on Mt. Gox's operations in the market, a decision was taken to close all transactions for the time being. In simple words, it was over. A leaked document soon surfaced online, the Crisis Strategy Draft. It revealed the horrifying truth. Mt. Gox had lost 850,000 bitcoins, worth about $450 million at the time. In today's value, that's over $30 billion. No one could believe it. Had it been stolen? Misplaced? Or was this an inside job? The company filed for bankruptcy protection in Japan, claiming it had discovered only 200,000 bitcoins left in cold storage. The rest, gone, vanished, unrecoverable. Thousands of users lost their life savings overnight. Some had stored their entire crypto portfolios there, trusting that Mt. Gox was too big to fail. But in the end, it wasn't a hack that destroyed Mt. Gox. It was neglect, arrogance, and chaos. Investigations followed. For years, forensic analysts tried to track the missing Bitcoin across the blockchain. Eventually, some patterns emerged. Most of the stolen coins had been draining out of Mt. Gox for years, unnoticed. Hackers had been siphoning small amounts continuously since 2011. All this time, Mt. Gox had been losing money slowly, like a leaking ship, and no one even realized it until it finally sank. Authorities traced a large portion of the stolen coins to a Russian national named Alexander Vinnik, who ran an exchange called BTCE. He was later arrested in Greece for money laundering, but most of the stolen Bitcoin was never recovered. As for Mark Karpeles, he was arrested in Japan in 2015, charged with embezzlement and data manipulation. He spent nearly a year in jail before being released on bail. In 2019, he was found guilty of falsifying data but acquitted of embezzlement. He received a suspended sentence, avoiding prison. Many of the victims, however, never got their money back. For the Bitcoin community, the Mt. Gox collapse was a brutal wake-up call. It showed that even in a decentralized world, people still trusted centralized platforms. It reminded everyone that "not your keys, not your coins" isn't just a slogan, it's survival advice. In the years after the collapse, the Bitcoin ecosystem slowly rebuilt itself. New exchanges emerged: Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, all promising better security, transparency, and accountability. But the ghost of Mt. Gox still lingers. Even today, years later, legal proceedings continue. A court-appointed trustee in Japan has been managing the process of repaying victims. Some have received partial refunds, while others are still waiting. The value of Bitcoin has multiplied thousands of times since 2014, turning what was once a few hundred million in losses into tens of billions in missed fortune. For many, Mt. Gox remains the ultimate what-if moment in crypto history. What if Mark had upgraded the systems? What if security had been tighter? What if users had withdrawn their coins earlier? There are no answers, only lessons. The rise and fall of Mt. Gox reads like a digital tragedy, built on innovation, greed, and human error. It was a symbol of early crypto's wild dreams, and its downfall marked the end of Bitcoin's innocence. The world learned a painful truth: even the most revolutionary technology is only as trustworthy as the people running it. As one early investor put it, Mt. Gox didn't just lose our money, it lost our faith in the future we thought we were building. But maybe that loss wasn't entirely in vain. Because out of the ashes of Mt. Gox, the crypto world learned to grow stronger. Developers built better exchanges. Users learned to protect their wallets. Regulators began to pay attention. The fall of Mt. Gox didn't kill Bitcoin, it forced it to evolve. Today, Bitcoin continues to rise and fall in value, but one thing remains certain: the ghosts of Mt. Gox still whisper a warning to anyone entering the world of digital money. Trust carefully, secure your assets, and remember the exchange that vanished. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the dark and mysterious world of tech, money, and hidden history. Your support helps us uncover the untold stories that shape the world we live in today.